My fellow Americans, there seems to be a bit of confusion in relation to Trump, Congress, and releasing the emergency SNAP funds. I heard about it yesterday. Trump first posted on Truth Social, and then an avalanche of people were like, look, he's not going to release the funds as promised. And here's one of those reports that came down.
Follow some breaking news, and that is President Trump making a statement on social media right here, talking about SNAP. This just posted to Truth Social right here. SNAP benefits, which increased by billions and billions of dollars, manyfold during crooked Joe Biden's disastrous term in office, due to the fact that they were haphazardly handed to anyone for the asking as opposed to those in need, which is the purpose of SNAP, will be given only when the radical left Democrats open up government, which they can easily do, and not before. Thank you for your attention on this matter, signed President Donald J. Trump. So we did want to let you know that this just coming into our newsroom, President Trump now saying that food benefits will only get paid once the shutdown ends. And that is the social media post that he put right there. We're also...
And this sent shockwaves throughout America, and I'm sure it rippled in a pond over the shores. And people are throwing up their hands like, my God. Back, forth, yes, no, up, down. We're dizzy from it as time continues to tick. Because arguably, at least 75% of the people who are receiving funds, they're well deserving. You're handicapped, you work for TSA, right? You're a pilot. Was it pilots? Well, I stand corrected. We have the air traffic controllers. I know they're not getting paid. You see, I'm dizzy from the information as well. But look, people, that's a separate part, yet it's money still. It's federal money being withheld, and it's no laughing matter. I did a live show the other day. A lady was gracious and kind enough to call. And she said, Pearson, you know, my dad was, I believe she said 22 years her dad was a pilot. And they get paid very well. I think she says up to like $200,000. And people should have had money saved. That's true. That's true, because rainy days do come. But yet, people, the reality is that there's a portion of people who do live check to check, even with that kind of money. I'm sure they're learning their lesson now. And what a lesson, and a timely lesson to learn. But how about the handicapped? How about those senior citizens? We can go down the line, right? It seems to me, again, like I did a video about a month ago when this first went down. When you talk about Obamacare and you talk about the illegals, all this being lumped in it and them getting paid, that is the illegals, is that what's really holding the thing up? Like I said, they could have just separated this. They can debate that all day about the illegals separate from us. Tell me what you think. Because before the illegals, that wasn't an issue. And now we got people re-signing up for Obamacare. You know, I did some digging in terms of the insurance companies. You know, the insurance companies have one of the biggest lobbyists in America. Did you know that? Look it up. It's mind-blowing. The insurance agencies allegedly have a big, they just carry a big stick, allegedly, and they have the ear of a lot of our politicians. And let's just call it a legal stick-up, that your premiums can double and even triple. But who's behind that thought? You got to cut behind the layers. How do we get to a point where companies think that they can literally bankrupt people Because that's what it would do. People would lose their homes if their health care doubled or tripled. People would die as a result of that. You know that. People are already taking their pills and cutting them in half. Come on, man. You're supposed to be America. I think America should just stop. And Congress and Trump should be, like I said the other day, at Judge Judy's court, the people's court. And we should only give them a piece of our mind. They should all be replaced. Every last one of them should be replaced. Somebody's got to do more than just filibuster. Somebody's got to act a plumb fool and say, you know what? This is a takeover of the United States, and I'm going to tell you. They might take my life, but it's Paul Revere time, baby. I got to speak. So what you think, people? Because this ain't natural. This isn't natural. In fact, it made me think about the cousins of the 5 C's. Those of you all who have been with me, you know about the 5 C's of clues, the codes, the colors, the confirmation time conclusion. Well, I also came up with a thing called the 5 D's. Delay, deny, debate, derail, and then destroy. And then they repeat the cycle. Delay, deny, debate, derail, then destroy. Because they have an objective. They have a goal. They got a playbook. I tell you, if Jesus wasn't coming again, the Holy Spirit wasn't here, I'm sure folks be losing their mind right about now. But let's venture down this rabbit hole, because I did present to you this video that Trump came out right away. And people are like, hey, he's going to deny the court's order. But look who clarified everything later on. His press secretary. Listen.
Needs to do that every day.
Very, very quickly, Caroline, on SNAP. I know it's been asked, and I know Leach asked it, but I want to put a fine point on it. You talked about the president's post here, and he wrote that SNAP benefits will only be given to the radical left Democrats open up the government. I understand your previous answers, but as written, how would that not violate the court order as it's written?
Now, what was her previous answer? Check it out.
Help clear up the confusion about SNAP benefits. Sure. The president just posted that they will only be given out when the radical left Democrats open the government and not before. But just yesterday, the administration said it would comply with the court order to expend the full amount of SNAP and contingency funds by end of business day yesterday. So did the administration distribute that money or defy that court order?
No, the administration is fully complying with the court order. I just spoke to the president about it. The recipients of these SNAP benefits need to understand it's going to take some time to receive this money, because the Democrats have forced the administration into a very untenable position. We are digging into a contingency fund that is supposed to be for emergencies, catastrophes, for war. And the president does not want to have to tap into this fund in the future. And that's what he was referring to in his Truth Social post. So the Department of Agriculture, as for the latest SNAP payment in the judge's order, put out guidance to state today on how to get that money to the recipients of SNAP. But it's going to take some time. The best way to get the full amount of SNAP benefits to those beneficiaries is for Democrats to reopen the government. So to anyone...
Should I use the word deflect too?
Now answered this question several times, Gabe. We are complying with the court's order. We are getting the payments out the door as quickly as we can. USDA sent the guidance to the state. The president is referring to future SNAP payments. He does not want to have to keep tapping in to an emergency fund and depleting it. In the case of a catastrophe in this country, he wants to have those funds preserved, as they should be. And he's made it very clear, Democrats should reopen the government. I have one final positive note.
So, the news got it wrong in interpreting his Truth Social post. That they're working on it. They're going to be sending it out right away. I guess we should have had a lawyer read this thing. A lot of gobbledygook language here that we really misinterpreted it. You mean to tell me all the alphabet agencies read this thing? And now she gets to clarify this thing? Because the news put this out there? Sound like confusion to me. Well, you know, I ran this a few days ago. Trump had a Halloween bash with a lot of women there in martini glasses as folks were sitting around trying to figure out where in the hell their next meal gonna come from.
Here is a woman in a massive martini glass, or I guess it's not a martini glass. I'm not exactly up on my stemware at this point in time, at this party. Here is a video at the party of, again, it's like a woman dancing in a drink glass.
Copyright won't play the music.
We've got a sort of Gilded Age recreation happening at Mar-a-Lago as food stamps are getting cut. Look at this.
I mean, look at Trump. He got it going on, don't he? Isn't that something?
And then here are more dancers at Trump's party.
And before somebody snaps, this is not what people voted for. Nobody could even envision this is what would happen. But you know, Trump, he had to do it upright, right? He had to send all the ladies to class. I said he had to send all the ladies to class. And so I believe this is one of their training exercises before they went to Mar-a-Lago. There they go. They're getting ready to be a lot of competition there, right? Charleston, break, knee slap, scarecrow. Everybody had to learn because, you know, Trump don't want nobody to upstage him. So everybody's there. There it is. There's the Charleston. There's the break. Knee slap. Go, girl. There's the scarecrow. Now they got it going on, see? Look how our tax money is being spent. Isn't that something? How them cheese sticks taste right about now in that martini? Or is that Kool-Aid you got in your glass? All right, what we got going on here? Well, let's get back to a little bit of a reality, because we got people in food lines, people. Food lines, literally. Cars. It's crazy, waiting on food. See if I can pull this up here.
All right, so listen up. State Farm.
I mean, this is crazy. It don't take much to do research on this subject.
People, they are still about 90 minutes early. This event doesn't start till 10. It goes to 1. Once they run out of food, that's it for the day. But they say to go to lafoodbank.org/find food. You'll find other pantries there listed, and along with other.
The new America. Texas. Thank God for the churches, the institutions, the peoples, the pastors, the volunteers, the donations, the care, the love, the prayers. The Spirit of America is working, people. It's working.
I'm Ruby Rivera, your neighborhood reporter here at the Kern County Fairgrounds. We're actually driving around right now trying to find an entrance in here. But while I'm here, I want to show you guys a little bit as to what we're looking at here. All of these cars on the side of the road, they're not parked. They're stood still. They're waiting in line for this food distribution happening at the Kern County Fairgrounds ran by Cap K. This is because of the government shutdown that is still going on, and now these SNAP benefits have been canceled for quite some time. I'm gonna put my phone out aside one more time to show you guys just how long this line really is. I mean, people are just lining up at a standstill. I think most of these cars are probably in park. The last time I spoke to somebody from Cap K, they said they had a 4-mile long line. I'll have more information for you as the day goes on.
It's the new America, people. I think they're breaking us down for the new world order. I think that's what they're doing.
The Armed Services YMCA is seeing a massive surge right now as many troops brace for the possibility of not getting paid. Lines stretch outside of a food pantry we visited in Killeen, Texas, right near Fort Hood, with soldiers, their families, and young children waiting for those doors to open. The CEO of the national nonprofit says demand at these pantries has jumped 30 to 70% since the government shutdown started. The biggest uptick right now is happening in areas where there's a lot of these junior enlisted service members. Many of them live paycheck to paycheck.
It's rough, people. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Just to go back to the punch bowl, whatever we were looking at. Do you really believe that a president of the United States would act like this? And is it coincidence? I want someone to respond to this. Is it coincidence that after the Republican butt whooping, that is the New York and other cities and states, when they had the elections the other day, after Republicans got their butt whooped, now he decides, oh, well, let me throw a little confusion out there. And were you confused? And do you think he's still going to release it? I mean, at this point, why is the press secretary talking about it? How come he don't bring his butt out there? You know, I'm to the point, and I hope I remember, I am to the point right now, I don't want to call him President Trump anymore. I really don't. I don't know how you feel, but I don't want to give him that, because that needs to be earned and it needs to be maintained. And he has been in office, what, 9 months, 10 months, whatever. I don't think that he should be called president anymore. I think that if you carry on to this point, and like I said, Congress and him, they're complicit. And if they can't honor us as human beings, why should we honor them with that title? There are people in shirt and ties, ladies in dresses, doing or not doing policies. So I have to remind myself, I'll just call him Donald J. Trump until I feel that he starts acting like a president. Because the goal of a president is to preside. The goal of Congress is to represent us. It is about we the people. And we need to stand for something at some point. And again, why are we lumping the cost of illegals as a package? And why can't we have health care which is reasonable? These are non-debates. And shame on it if I'm right. And if you've done the research, put it in the comment section. From the research I've been doing, it appears that the lobbyists of the health care, they're having their way allegedly with Congress. But it's got to be deeper than that. Because no human being, I don't care what culture you're from or what religion that you believe, there's something about a heart that God gave us, we would do the right thing. This is why more and more every day I'm coming to the conclusion we have fallen angels in government. But is it coincidence Donald J. Trump is causing confusion? Do you think he's going to pass the thing? You think he's working on it? 42 million people. Again, TSA, pilots, government workers, go down the road. $40 billion to Argentina, remember that? That wasn't too long ago. That should be in our recent memory. If Trump doesn't release the funds, should Trump be impeached? Oh, Pearson, that's a new one. Look, I'm going there. If Congress doesn't release the funds, let's still throw this scenario out there. If it comes down to Trump being able to do this without Congress, should he at least release the emergency funds? And if he doesn't, should he be impeached? You see, I haven't forgot about the video I did last week about the 94 million pounds of food that he stopped. Oh, some folks didn't know about that. Then Trump's ego got in the way the other day about the New York mayor race, talking about Trump's like, well, I wasn't on the ticket. And that's the main reason why a lot of Republicans lost. Trump was on the ticket. And that's why they lost. Do you understand? He was in the ticket booth. He's the star of the show, or should I say disaster. It's a referendum on Trump, and don't you ever forget it. We got a right to speak. Biblically, it's this: let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, and be thy brother's keeper. I don't need no woman in a martini glass pushing it in our face. The 5 Ds of delay, deny, debate, derail, because ultimately it destroys the country. And that, my friend, is part of that playbook. God bless each and every one of you guys, and everybody whose thoughts and prayers are with those, and those who have given a helping hand in one form or another to those in need. God bless.